I got my hands on a Leuchtturm 1917 Academic Week Planner. Today I'll be giving you a complete walkthrough. I'll give you my opinions on who this might be a good fit for, and I'll also do a full pen test. If we're meeting for the first time, hi, my name is Jay, and on this channel, we focus on the science of moving from intention to action. That includes tools for planning, which is why I have many planner reviews across this channel. Here is the Leuchtturm 1917 18-month academic weekly planner in all its glory. This planner runs from July 2020 to December 2023. This is the English version, and you can tell what version it is by this little red label here. I have mine in the lilac color, and this is considered a medium, which is an A5 size notebook. I purchased mine at the local Barnes & Noble. It cost $26.95 US. You could also find all the colors on Amazon. Before we open her up, I'd like to give you some of the specifications. Even though this planner runs from July 2022 to December 2023, they actually have the newer version of this planner, and it runs from January 2023 through December 2023. It also comes in a few different sizes. It comes in an A4 size, which is larger than this. That's called the master size. This is the medium size, which is A5. There is an A6 pocket size as well as a B5 composition size. I'm a big fan of the B size notebooks. I actually have an older review of B5 size notebooks, and I'm going to leave that in the cards up above somewhere. Now for our walkthrough. The first page that you're going to get says please return to, and there's several lines there where you can write down your contact information in the event that you ever misplace this book. Then at the bottom it says thank you very much. This first sheet always kind of bothers me because it kind of connects to this cardstock sheet at the beginning, but there's just a blank sheet of paper, and that is followed by a 2022 overview. This is going to give you all 12 months on one page starting in January and ending in December. I like that this calendar has an additional column on the left-hand side of the monthly overview. It tells you the number of the week within the year. So starting off with the first week and ending with the 52nd week of the year. After that, you're going to have the 2023 overview and 2024 overview. So you get a 3-year overview. That is followed by this perpetual calendar style of a 6-month overview. It's going to cover July through December, but this one actually gives you the specific days as well as the dates next to them. So rather than just having a column with July 1 through 31, you also have these initials to indicate the specific days of the week, starting on Friday and ending on Sunday for July, for example. And there's also little indicators here of the moon phases. So that covers July through December of 2022, then January through June of 2023, and July through December of 2023. Oh, there's more. I didn't expect that. There is the 6-month overview of 2024 starting in January, and then the second 6 months of 2024 are here as well. So to recap, we have half of 2022, all of 2023, and all of 2024. So you have an ability to forward plan for 2.5 years. Wow, who knows what they're going to be doing in 2024? If you know what you're going to be doing in 2024, leave it in the comment section down below. And if you have zero clue what you're going to be doing in 2024, put the number 0 in the comment section. After the 6-month overviews, you have an international holidays calendar for 2022. You have several different countries going across the top, and then you have the months going down vertically. You also have the holidays for 2023. Next, you have a project page for the last 6 months of 2022 and the first 6 months of 2023. Now, I really like the format of these project pages. I'm not particularly good at project planning in this manner, but I really like the idea of using these as a habit tracker. So there are 5 slots, so you can write the 5 habits that you're trying to do, and you can track those for every day of the month, and you can do that over a 1-year period. After the second half of 22 and first half of 2023, you have the last 6 months of 2023 as well as the first 6 months of 2024. I guess they don't think you'll be able to plan out projects more than 2 years in advance. There's also a neat feature here where it divides up the year into the weeks with a very faint number here. So this is week 1 of 2024, and then week 2, you can see the number 2 here faintly for the second week and the third week, and so on and so forth. So I kind of like those additional little touches. After that, you have your first weekly overview. These weekly overviews begin on Monday and end on Sunday. The first time slot you have is 7 a.m. and the last time slot you have is 2200, so that's 10 p.m. At the bottom of the notebook, you have a section for notes. I received a comment recently on my American bias and how I give all of my measurements in inches. So I made an effort to bring out this Jibun Techo ruler where I have centimeters. So I'll be able to give you the centimeter dimensions for this box. For this note section, the note section is about 2 inches and a quarter in height and just about 1 inch and a quarter in width. And in centimeters, from the bottom to the top is 6 centimeters and 3 centimeters across. Each day of the week does have its own individual column, and at the very end you have a full column for notes. In the bottom right-hand corner, you have 2 calendars, one for the current month and one for the upcoming month, and the week that you're in is highlighted with a box in each of those calendars. In the bottom left-hand corner, there's an indication of what week of the year it is. And on the top, both left and right-hand corners, there is the month. The moon phases are also located next to the days of the week. As you're flipping through the pages, you'll notice that there is no monthly overview when you transition from one month to the next. I've skipped to the very end of 2023 since all of the pages look identical. When you move to the last week in this planner, it's going to end in December 31st, 2023 because that is a Sunday. That is followed by a series of blank pages. There are a total of 5 blank sheets in the back for a total of 10 pages. Before we move on to the additional features of the book, I'm going to go ahead and run a pen test. The pens I'm going to be using for this pen test are a Pilot Varsity. This is an inexpensive fountain pen and it's going to simulate a very wet fountain pen, a Pilot Friction, and this is going to test how well the paper holds up to being erased. A Papermate Inkjoy that is also a pretty wet pen and it will show us how quickly the ink dries. A Le Pen Pen Fine Liner, a Black Sarasa Fine Liner, a Crayola Super Tip, which will give us a very bold marking, and finally the true test of any paper, a Sharpie Ultra Fine. This paper was a pretty smooth writing experience, but right away I noticed some things. It did take some time for the Papermate Inkjoy to dry, and you can see that there is some smudging, and when I closed the book, there was some transfer to the opposite sheet of paper. As a reminder, this is 80-gram paper, so I did expect to see some ghosting. And you can see that under this light that there's some ghosting. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my studio lights so that you can see the ghosting with more natural lighting. Here I've turned off some of the overhead lighting and you can see that there is some noticeable ghosting. Seeing it in person, I can clearly see all of the markings, including the writing with the Pilot Friction. Even though there's substantial ghosting, there is very limited bleed through. You can see just a bit of bleed through with the Pilot Varsity, which again is the fountain pen, and you can see some bleed through with the Sharpie Ultra Fine, but only in places where I left the pen down for a moment. Now let's test out how well the paper holds up to being erased. It looks like it did pretty well to me. I don't feel like there was any risk of rubbing through to the paper, so it felt very different than the Tomoe River paper, where when you erase, you have a very clear indentation. There's not much indentation here, and the paper feels really sturdy. All right, let's finish up a review of the book. The last page also has that hard cardstock that we saw at the very beginning of the book, so the first page of the book. Here at the back, you do have a cardstock folder, and the folders on these notebooks have a gusset that's made out of a fabric tape, so it's very sturdy, and I've never had a problem with these back pockets breaking. This book comes with an additional booklet, so it has a blank page to start, and then it is a perpetual calendar. You have the months going across the top, and then vertically you have numbers 1 through 31, so you can use this as a perpetual calendar. That is followed by an individual page for each letter of the alphabet. Each of those pages has an individual tab, and each tab has 2 letters of the alphabet. That continues from A all the way through Z. And when you get to the very end here, YZ, you do have one blank unlined page. So that is the extra booklet that comes here in the back. As with many of the products from this company, you are also going to get these stickers for archiving. There is a little thank you note. There's also a little booklet which provides a little bit more information in terms of the sizing and other products available from the company. Here you'll see the different sizes as well as the different types of paper that they have: plain, dotted, ruled, and squared, as well as some dated planners, a pen loop, pencil, additional accessories. There is also a card for writers and thinkers, which is their community, and it has a QR code in the back that you can scan for more information on that. You might have noticed that this book comes with 2 bookmarks. One of the bookmarks is going to match the color of the front of the book, and the other bookmark is going to alternate between gray and that color. So in this case, I have one that is lilac and one that is striped lilac and gray. Going to the back of the book, you can see where there is an attachment for this elastic. This elastic is pretty sturdy, and I have had these notebooks for many years and have never had a problem with the elastic. There is one thing that you might notice. The elastic does make an indentation in the back of the notebook and sometimes in the front of the notebook as well, especially if you're someone that puts in a lot of extra paper or stickers into your notebook. Sometimes you'll get those indentations in the back or in the front of the notebook. So what are my general thoughts on the Leuchtturm 18-month academic planner? Well, in general, I love the brand. I love that it comes in a variety of colors and it has these extras that are really necessities for me, like the elastic. But there are some essential pieces that are missing for me. I'm going to review the 3 reasons why this planner doesn't work for me, and I'm going to present you with some alternatives if you have the same concerns. One of the primary reasons this planner won't work for me is the 80-gram paper. So I use a lot of fountain pens and a variety of pens, so I really prefer a thicker paperweight. And actually, the Leuchtturm company has a thicker paperweight in their bullet journal. This is their version 2.0, and the paper weight of this journal is 120 grams, and I find that it holds up well with any pen that I use. I've already mentioned the second reason why this planner wouldn't work for me, and that's because I take copious notes. So I need plenty of room to write down meeting notes or ideas and thoughts that I'm having. So an alternative is just a regular Leuchtturm notebook. If you don't necessarily care about the paperweight, you can just get a regular Leuchtturm. Unlike the bullet journal version, the regular notebooks come in a wide variety of colors. So if you're interested more in having a good note-taking device, this might work out better for you. There have been years where I actually went in and manually set up my weekly overviews, and I actually extended the columns a little bit, so I did have a shared weekend, but I found that I was able to get 26 weeks into the journal, and I still had a substantial amount of pages here in the back for notes related to my scheduled activities during those weeks. The last and final issue that I have with this planner is that it does not have a monthly overview. So if you're looking for a planner that does have a monthly overview, the Hobonichi Techo, this is the Hobonichi Techo cousin, which is the A5 size, and it's the avec version, so it's just 6 months, but you can also get the regular version, which covers the whole year, and it's going to be about the same size. Actually, this 6-month Hobonichi is about the same size as this 18-month planner. This only has 6 months, but it does have a monthly overview for each of the months. It also has a weekly overview, and this weekly overview actually includes more hours, which would be more convenient for me as well. A bonus limitation of this planner for me is that my day starts around 5 o'clock in the morning, goes until 8:30, so the time slots that are in this planner don't necessarily work for my schedule. But in the Hobonichi, you start your day off at 5 o'clock and it ends at 4 o'clock, so you actually have the full 24 hours, so you can just plan your days by moving up or down in the column. Additionally, you have individual pages for each day of the week, so you have plenty of note writing room. If you like the features of the academic planner, but you're more of a horizontal planner, check out this video where I review the Leuchtturm 1917 horizontal weekly planner.